So it's been a while, and if you've been with me or are still with me, if anybody's still with me because it's been that long, or if you're new, I did a video. I can't even remember how long. It's been months, I think, and before that it was like years. But yeah, I've been gone for a while, and I did do a video a couple months ago saying that I was back, but I actually um gave the which is why the quality's different and not so great. I had a better camera before, but I gave it to my brother because me and my fiance were looking to get a better camera, like an upgrade. But that's gonna have to wait for a little while. And if I seem like low energy, it's because I'm tired and I'm hot. Like I was just sitting here writing down recipes and I had to stop because I'm just so like. But I just wanted to do a video. I've been meaning to for a while. Um, because a lot of stuff has happened since like last I checked in. Um, but there's a lot to get through because it's been a while and there's like a lot of new updates. So I'll try to get through this as fast as I can because I don't want to bore anybody. If you want to speed through anything, feel free. I tend to do that a lot with videos if there's too much babbling, which I do tend to do, I'll admit. So if you're new, if you've been with me, if you know you're still with me, like I said, then I'll just do a reintroduction, I guess. I'm Jen. I'm 28. I'm engaged, happily so. I've been with my fiance for 9 years this year. This May 5th, no, May 14th. May 15th is his birthday. But we've been together for a while, and we've been trying. Me and my fiance have been trying to get pregnant for, you know, about 8 or 9 years on and off. And also I have PCOS, which is why I set up this channel to kind of like a little video diary, I guess, to help me cope with, next door neighbor dog, with like everything, like struggles or just, I don't know, I just like an online diary and where people can share and view and comment and stuff. But I was diagnosed with PCOS 4 years ago, and I have past videos that you can check out if you're interested in that. I'll probably discuss that later on in another video just because I don't want this video to be too long. So, like I said, we've been trying for about 8 or 9 years on and off, and we honestly didn't know or think it was going to happen. And we actually were discussing, our life without children or the possibility of never having children. Now, we did and do want children, but, you know, because of what I have, it kind of makes that a little difficult. So, regardless if we want it or not, it doesn't always work like that, obviously. That's life. But we just made plans, discussed it, what if we don't have children? What do we want to do? Are we going to be okay with that? Is that something we could be okay with? Would we consider adoption or any other means of like um, fertility, I guess? Um, and adoption is a really nice thought. It's just not something that we wanted to do. We really wanted to have our own biological children. And, we were discussing saving up for like in vitro, if it ever came to that, because I was previously on metformin and they were going to put me on Clomid. After a certain amount of time, they wanted to see how the metformin worked first. And, in vitro sounded okay. I still was like, it's a, like, it's one of the few options we have if we can't conceive naturally. And we were considering saving up for that. And then my cousin, who I grew up with, who was like more like a sister to me than a cousin, and my best friend, Sydney, she actually, well, they both actually offered to, um, surrogate for us if we ever wanted that. Like they offered, like if you ever, really can't have children of your own, and you and Luke, which is my fiance, really do want to have, a baby, I would be more than happy to carry that baby for you. And, that's like such a selfless thing, and it really like meant a lot to me, and it still does. Like, because I mean, even if it's not their child, it's got to be incredibly hard to go through everything as if that child is yours. You're growing them, you're feeling them kick and move inside of you, and then you have to give them away. So, like just thinking of that, I thought that's completely selfless, and like, I don't know, it just meant a lot. And I'm sorry for that dog. That dog barks every day. It drives me nuts. So, fast forward to now. Um, I'm actually pregnant now. And let me just say, it came as a total shock. Like, the best shock of my life. Me and my fiance are completely over the moon. We're like thrilled. We can't wait to be parents. Like, I'm still like, oh my God, we're gonna have a baby. Like, 9 years, and we're finally here. Like, we like, I can't even tell you, like, we hoped we would be here, but I don't think either one of us really thought it would happen. And it's just, it's really awesome. Um, so we actually found out on the 2nd of May, and I've taken many pregnancy tests before, and they've all come out negative. And I was like, you know, let's just do another one just to rule it out, because we were discussing me going to the hospital anyways, or the doctors, because I wasn't feeling myself. I was feeling really lethargic. Um, I was having really bad food aversions. I mean, they weren't horrible. I wasn't feeling nauseous or anything, but nothing like nothing seemed good, and I didn't really want to eat much, and I actually ended up losing a little bit of weight and everything. And I'm a pretty big girl, so that was like, and it's always been hard for me to lose weight. So when I started losing weight like that, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And another symptom that kind of tipped me off that something was not right. And I don't know why I didn't think pregnancy could possibly, I think maybe it's because it's been 9 years. So after all that time of nothing, you like, that's the last thing you think it could be. But my breasts were really tender and sore, not just for like a few days or a week or even two, like weeks. Like, that's never happened to me before. And I was like, what is going on? And I started getting kind of emotional about things. Like, I would just cry. I'm like, what if I have cancer? My fiance's like, you don't have cancer. I'm like, what if I have breast cancer and that's why my boobs hurt? And he's like, like totally irrationally crying about this stuff. He's like, your boobs won't hurt if you have cancer. And like, I was just like, well, I need to go to the hospital and figure out what's going on. I need to go to talk to a doctor to figure out what is going on. He's like, well, let's just wait another week to take a test. And I'm like, yeah, we know what it's going to say. I was so sure. And the weirdest part is, it was so different this time, because all the other times in the past that I've taken pregnancy tests, I was so hopeful and so like sure that that was it, and it wasn't. And this time I was like, I'm not pregnant. The one time I'm like, I'm not pregnant. No, no. And then I wake up really early because I had to pee like crazy. So I ran out of the room and couldn't even find the pregnancy test at first. It was like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I am not a morning person. I don't ever get up that early. And I had to pee bad, which was another thing I noticed I had to do a lot of. I had to do a lot of peeing. So I was getting frustrated because I couldn't find the test, and I almost just went pee without it. I was like, you know what? It's going to say negative anyways. Who cares? But then I found it, and it was like shoved under my bed. So I pulled it out. I'm like, I'm just, okay. I was like half asleep. I didn't even care about the test. I just wanted to pee and go to bed because I was so tired. I just wanted to relieve myself. So I take it and I'm like, you know, when you wake up really early and you're like half asleep while you're going to the bathroom, I'm like, oh, okay, I just can't wait to go to bed. So I took it and I'm like, wait a minute, what? And then like I just sat there like looking around the empty bathroom. It's like it was still dark out a little bit. Like, you know, it was like, you know, the sun was out, but it was still pretty dark. And my fiance comes in to go pee too, and he's like, "What? What's going on? Why are you looking like that?" And I'm like, so I hand him the test, and he's just like, "What?" And he just like kept looking at me like that, and I just started crying. And now I'm crying on the toilet as I'm peeing. I'm still peeing. You know, I peed a little bit in the cup and then continued peeing the rest. And I was like, And he's like, "Are you happy?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I think he was just so shocked. He was just like, I don't know what to do. And I just remember for that day, we were just kind of like, is this real? And I remember looking at him going, is this real life? Is this really happening? Is this really real? Is this a dream? And he's like, no, this isn't a dream. And I think he was kind of in denial too. I was definitely in denial. And that was the first test. So I was like, you know what? That was probably a false positive. I'm going to take another one in a little bit. So I wait a few hours, go back in, take the second one. That one's positive too. And they're dark, like really dark lines. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is for real. This is really real. And like, we were discussing, like, oh God, we got to make a doctor's appointment, we got to do this, we got to do that, or whatever. At like complete shock. Um, and I was actually a little scared too because I was getting cramping. I was getting it quite a bit. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I didn't think I was pregnant was because I was getting cramps and it felt like period cramps. And I always, like, I am irregular, but this year my periods have come more regularly. I can speak. And, usually I get my period like once a year. This year I got it like 5 or 6 times. So that's like amazing for me. And I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, that happens a lot too. I forget stuff. But yeah, my periods come more regularly and stuff like that. And I don't know. I guess I just thought it was my period coming. And my boobs get tender too when I get my period, when I'm due for my period too. And no matter how long I go without getting my period, it's always the same symptoms a week before and during my period. I always get tender breasts and cramping. And that's before and during my period. And it always happens a week before. But like I said, these symptoms were happening weeks. So I was like, okay, this is fucking weird. Pardon my language of any kids around. I don't mean to swear. Um, so I don't know. I just, I was like, is this normal to be getting cramps? So I was like, maybe we should go to the hospital first. Because number one, I want to definitely confirm that I am, in fact, pregnant. And number two, I have my PCOS. And I want to make sure that's okay. Like everything regarding, you know, that with my pregnancy. And I was like, I also want to make sure like this cramping is normal because that's kind of a scary thing. Because I've never been pregnant before. So I don't know if anything that I'm getting is even normal. So we go to the hospital, and I was, I was still in denial. I was thinking they're gonna check me. It's gonna be like false positives. Like I'm still like thinking like this, even though I took 2 tests. And I go in, they do an ultrasound, but they wouldn't let me look at the screen, which kind of scared me out. And I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, what if something's wrong? But then they tell me, yeah, you're definitely pregnant. There's a baby in there. We've seen the baby on the screen. It's got a good heartbeat. They're moving around and blah blah blah. And then they tell me, this was weeks back. They're like, you're about 6 weeks along, and I was like, oh. whoa, about 6 weeks. Wow. Like, that's kind of a lot of time, and I didn't even know it that whole time. And then I'm thinking, like, I'm going through, like, because now the doctors are confirming, I'm going through, like, everything. I'm like, what did I eat? Was that bad? What did I do? Was that bad? And actually, before we found out we were pregnant, I fell into a pond because me and my fiance, we do landscaping, and I freaking fell into one of our clients' ponds. They have like these three koi ponds that connect, and I was trying to like help her put in lily pads, and I freaking slipped because the stone and stuff was mossy and slippery or algae-ish, and I slipped and fell in. But I mean, thank God it was filled with water and it broke my fall, and I didn't bang up anything too horribly. Um, but yeah, and this video is 15 minutes long, so I might do this in 2 parts because this is a big update for me. But yeah, we're pregnant. I'm no longer 6 weeks. I wanted to actually wait a bit longer because, um, this is our first baby, and miscarriages do happen sometimes, and um, it's just kind of like pregnancy is a really magical thing, but it's also really scary too, and it's a delicate thing. So I just wanted to wait a little bit until I felt comfortable, and I feel comfortable now. I'm still a little iffy because I'm still like, surveying the waters. This is new territory for me, so I don't, I'm like, what do I do? What do I say? Where do I go? I don't know. So, but I really did want to come and do this update, and I do want to update this channel more often. And the video quality is not going to be, amazing. There's not going to be any special like cuts or edits or like little, um, pictures on the beginning of the videos or anything to lure, like, what is it called? I forget the word. But, like, I'm not going to do anything fancy. I kind of want this to be like organic, as organic as I can. Because like I said, I kind of think of this as my little video diary slash vlog, I guess. Um, so I'll probably end this video and then continue on with the second part of the update, and let you know what's going on now and, all that jazz. Because I really don't want to, make this video too long and have you guys bored out of your minds. So thank you for watching and staying, you know, with me, or just tuning in. If you want to subscribe, that's awesome. You don't have to. This is mainly for me and to just document like everything I go through, my feelings and thoughts and stuff. And I mean, it's nice if anybody wants to join me on my little journey, but it's not required. I know a lot of YouTubers and stuff kind of, do that whole subscribe thing. You don't have to. But yeah, I'll just do another video in a little bit, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I looked at that. You didn't see that, right?